DroneTalks is an online platform to spread ideas and to educate in the drone ecosystem. At DroneTalks, we discuss technology, regulatory, business, and ecosystem topics openly with industry leaders to enable and foster innovation for a better future.
Hi everyone, I'm Esther Kovacs, CEO and founder of DroneTalks. Today, I'm talking with Chris McCall, CEO of Fotokite. Hi Chris, thanks for accepting my invitation.
Hi Esther, thanks for having me.
So my first question is, why drones? So what's your background? How drones came to the picture?
So I started my career off in oceanographic systems, autonomous robotics that are out in the ocean. So really demanding environments and exciting work. It was put towards things like tracking the ocean currents and things like this. So very rewarding, very impact oriented. But I started looking at the aerial robotics space as some of the technologies were maturing. And back in 2014, I met and started working with a PhD student who had spun off a company, founded Fotokite from ETH Zurich University. Sergei Lupashin had done his PhD under Raffaello D'Andrea, a world-leading, robotics and autonomous sensor and systems group. And what he had developed is the ability for a tethered drone system to fly 100% autonomously in completely closed form. And that has a bunch of advantages with regards to kind of ease of use and interaction, and later down the line of development, some other really key aspects of the product as well. But that's really where things kind of started off. When we started working together, we initially started looking at broadcast uses. Sergei's got a great couple of TED Talks on stage talking about accessible drone journalism and making a system for anybody to be able to access those aerial views. Where we ended up kind of down the journey in the company together was finding use cases like public safety, which ended up really fitting extremely well with our technology stack, with what we've got as a company and what we've got as a team. We haven't looked back since. It's been really, really rewarding.
That's really impressive, and actually I see more and more Fotokite in the news, and I talk with my friends when we go out, and I talk about drones, and they always see drones as toys. And I was just wondering now, what would be your top use case where I could, showcase it to my friends? Drones are not toys.
Sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with toys. There's all sorts of different systems to meet different needs. Some of those are entertainment, right? Even some like professional entertainment. There's a company called Verity Studios that does professional entertainment drone light shows in major venues and big concerts. So, I mean, there's a wide range of use cases. Your question was, where's the best use case to point to when you don't want to be pointing towards a toy? I mean, look at the wide range of UAV systems out there. We're one of the more special cases where we are a public safety type of system. It gets used by firefighters and public safety teams. It's not at all used for recreational purposes.
Yes, and I just read in the news that Axon partners with Fotokite to offer fully autonomous drone technology via this Axon Air program. So I was just wondering if you can share some insights about that. It looks really interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's really building off of a lot of the progress that we've made in developing and delivering a product that's ready for public safety teams, whether they're firefighters, police officers, emergency management professionals. What we put together as a team was a system that's capable of being used on a scalable way in any type of everyday weather environments, and without some of the limitations that a lot of the public safety teams out there see with normal drones, with traditional free-flying systems. So with Axon, we're creating a system that can be delivered to any police officer, first over in the US, but hopefully also soon in Europe thereafter, that can really help those customers gain an aerial overview of any scene to provide more context to actually what's going on. Axon's a company that pioneered a lot of the body camera technology, and they did that because after they had initially introduced some kind of game-changing technologies like the taser into the public safety space, they also realized that police officer accountability and record keeping and incident records was a really, really important thing. So they developed this body camera that police officers can use, and it records, the officer's vision of what is going on in a scene. The partnership with us is kind of just a graduated step beyond that in officer accountability, in contextual evidence management, of providing a contextual scene overview, not only to help on site and kind of identify, where to go and what to respond to in the moment, but also to record and keep that record afterwards for things like training, evidence locker, and anything else that you might need it for. So it's really exciting for us. It builds off of a lot of the progress that we've made in the fire space with Pierce Manufacturing as well. Firefighters across the US are using the system already. And I think that those two parallel use cases have a lot in common, but clearly police officers, firefighters, they have special needs, and making a system specifically for each one of them to best fit that market is exactly what we're doing with Axon and with Pierce.
That's super interesting. And just to the audience who never heard about Fotokite, like very, very briefly, how should I imagine? Because when I put it in Google, I seen this drone in the end of the rope,
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering if you need to summarize in 5 sentences what the system is. Why is that different than another drone? What's the benefit?
Yeah, I'll try my best in 5 sentences. Ultimately, I guess the use that you can most clearly imagine is a firefighter pulls up to an emergency scene, and without doing anything else, they just push a single button while they're still in the vehicle. Up on top of the fire truck, this system opens up, automatically launches, and then automatically starts streaming thermal and regular video down to the firefighter and all of the public safety personnel on the ground. That aerial view, again, that they only needed to push a single button to achieve, is above head overview aerial situational awareness. And that provides information from above on whether there's hot spots, in the roof of a building, where survivors might be in the backyard, where there might be risks and threats that you need to, actually respond to. And so that aerial information provided at the single push of a button, that's what we achieve from a customer journey perspective. But of course, there's a lot more in the back end of the actual technology stack to achieve that and get there.
And just, I'm really fascinated about this system. And, one of the biggest challenges currently is the battery life. And if I read well, and if I did my homework well, you solve this as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. So battery life, regulations, training, team resources, these are all examples of limitations that prevent public safety teams or a lot of, enterprise customers out there from using drones in a daily scalable way. Those limits are accepted kind of as the default basis right now. Which is the status quo that we're challenging with our product. We do it in a little bit different way. We use an active tether to achieve full autonomy, so there's no piloting whatsoever. For battery life, just like you said, we use this active tether to push power up that line to provide over 24 hours of continuous flight time to the system. Every single system is actually powered by the vehicle that it's integrated into. But we also use that tether for data right? We send controls up that line, but we also send high bandwidth video down that line so that it's never ever, RF dependent. It's never requiring the use of wireless technologies to actually get you the information that you need.
That's really impressive and smart. So I'm just wondering what's next. So what's Fotokite vision for the next few years?
I think that, when you look at providing that on-site and remote situational awareness that is readily available now to public safety teams, what you start to create is the ability to add in more and more intelligence into those systems, right? Graduated situational awareness levels. And so looking at the video and kind of seeing what's going on, but with a little bit more awareness and maybe a little bit more autonomous signals and tracking is exactly what we're working on. But exciting times ahead, and I'm really excited to be making some announcements pretty soon.
Thank you so much, Chris, for the interview. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise, Esther. Thanks.